Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hello, everyone. We'll be with you shortly. Meanwhile, enjoy the tunes. Okay, hello, everyone. How we doing today? How's it going? Welcome in. Okay, hello, everyone. Whoops. How we doing today? I forgot to mute that. Hold on. Okay, hello, everyone. Otherwise, the echo's gonna be real. The echo's gonna be real. Oh, gosh. Okay, also, you got to see how I did the timer thing. Neato keen. Right. So, my name's Sean. I'm Fire of Life 2018. And today, we're going to get stoned and talk about the news. So, first on the agenda is get stoned. If you haven't already, don't toke up, noke up. If it's legal in your area, by all means. Otherwise, I'm sorry. See your local politician and lobby for that. Get involved. Marijuana changed my life. I used to be like hardcore anti-stoner. Like I was super anti-marijuana before I moved to Hawaii, where it's legal. I got medical car bottles out there and changed my life for real. I'm not. I'm sure it's not for everyone. You know, just like every drug in the world, it's not for everyone. But sometimes you find your right one, and that's my right one for sure. So today we have some interesting news. The universe is unraveling, as I see it. If you've been here with us before, then you know that I usually start with the tabs at the top of my screen with interesting things that stuck out to me as parallel and themes together, whereas not so much with this lately. Oh my god, I feel like I'm being eaten alive by something, or I have already been eaten alive today. I just can't tell if there's something in here eating me again. Oh my gosh, there was definitely a mosquito in here who bit me, and then I had to go outside and feed tomatoes, and there was mosquitoes to eat me. Let me sit back down. Maybe the lighting will be better too. Of course, my sit. You get the slow roll of the shirt. My aunt gave this to me. It's very, very me. It's way too peoply outside. There's always people out there. Where do they keep coming from? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah, the workgrounds and the workshops in the background. Rowdy's outside. Rowdy the dog, if you're new. So we're talking about the news. Also, I forgot that we haven't rolled any ads yet. I'm gonna roll the ads just so the pre-rolls don't stop. If you subscribe to the channel, which you can do with Prime for free, you don't have to watch the ads. So if you get the ads next time, I really appreciate you staying around and watching for that situation. But that prevents me from having to show pre-roll ads to other people as they come into the channel. And, you know, I hate that too. When somebody you don't even know, you're just trying to click on their channel and you have to watch an ad before you can even watch what they are. Like, I hate that. So I respect that. Also, we are listening to lo-fi hip-hop over on Play on the YouTubes. I will put that in the chat so you guys can go check them out. I often play their music because it's chill. Just kind of nice, chill, cool background. You can also follow me on YouTube, where I upload these live streams to YouTube on the regs. So there's that. Yeah. So in the news, what do we want to start with? The climate, the war situation, or American politics, world politics. We got a lot of things going on. I guess if I just start with my left to right, I'm gonna start with maybe over here because this is where the first ones I started, and then I kept adding in backwards. So like I came across this one. What
were you adding?
Oh, like you know how I do the Google News? I pick everybody, and then yeah, I pick like I go to Google News and then I pick things. So like if I pick it from this direction, I will be able to like the ones that flagged me first. Here, I'll share this screen with you so you can see what the stream is seeing.
I mean, I'm watching your stream right now, actually.
Well, I respect that, and please don't stop that. But you might want to see live stream because I think that one is about 10 seconds delayed. And I have a couple of videos and stuff today that I'm gonna play, so you may want to be live for those. But I mean, you can just have the stream up in the background because you're awesome and support. Did you have to play an ad when you watched the stream?
Yeah, it's playing one right now.
I don't know if that's where you caught it from before, but I should be now. I've got 18 minutes where we don't have to show any ads at all. And everybody can just join and feel the love and use all the cool things that I have in chat now.
Did you add something else?
I mean, like, this is only the second stream since I added all the other stuff. Like, nobody even uses it since. So as soon as somebody uses it, I will. Like, a random sound alert. My God, that's so loud. Oh, ow, oh, that's so loud. Oh my God, does it go, like, I instantly regret this. I instantly regret this. Oh my God, there's a daddy shark in this now? Whoa. That was some real stuff, you guys. Brandon, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I just had to turn my stuff down so low. I couldn't hear it over. It said baby shark.
Baby shark.
You may have to speak up because I have you as loud as can possibly have you.
I said baby shark.
I'm not sure if Ken be heard on stream or not.
Oh no, I have no idea.
Where's Keith? We need Keith.
It says he's playing Final Fantasy.
Did he forget? I didn't send him a message.
Well, maybe that's why.
I mean, should I like just be like, hey, watch my stream every week?
Hey, watch my stream.
We're in the Discord if you would like to join us, because Sharon said she might later too.
But then you gotta say, would you like to doggy?
Why would you have to say that?
I don't know. Why not?
That seems like a weird thing to say. Wow. Okay, so our first news story of the day. Did you get stoned? You should get stoned. Have a brownie or something, Brandon. We're gonna deep dive into some news. You might need it tonight. You might need it.
Oh my god.
This is probably just gonna get like progressively more disturbing as we go through like the 10 news stories that I have collected today. Tonight, the first one, we're going to start with the United Nations say crimes against humanity may have happened in China's Xinjiang. The United Nations Human Rights Chief has released a long delayed report for abuses in China's region despite substantial pressure from Beijing to block the report for a better part of a year. The 48-page document concludes that serious human rights violations have been committed against the Uyghurs and predominantly Muslim minorities in a region in the name of counterterrorism. It also said the extent of the arbitrary and discriminatory detention may constitute international crimes, in particular crimes against humanity. The report comes as Michelle Blanchett, the UN's High Commissioner for Human Rights, served out her last day in office after announcing earlier that she was not seeking another term for personal reasons. So she basically is her last day, and she's like, anyway, here's this report on all the shit China's been doing. Good luck, guys. Bye.
Oh my god.
China. I'm sorry. Whatever. I can't pronounce this city. Zing. Is that Xinjiang? Xinjiang. A huge resource-rich region in the west of China is where authorities since 2017 have arbitrarily detained and imprisoned hundreds of thousands of ethnic people, as well as other historically Muslim minorities, such as the Santhang and the Kazakhs. China at first denied it was detaining ethnic minorities, but later came to characterize detention camps in the intensive digital surveillance and policing that blankets the region as counterterrorism and economic development initiatives. How does it make you feel, Brandon?
That's wild.
Is it?
That's I don't even know.
Okay. So all right. So hold your horses. Next story. So I don't really want to go into this one yet because Trump stuff always messes up everything. We're gonna skip that one. So let's talk about war in Ukraine. We're gonna have a 4-minute listen, and we can pause if you would like to see something or anybody in the chat wants to say something. By all means, I can pause this for a minute, and I'm sure I will pause some things as I have comments to say. But this is here's a nice picture to go with this report. This is a report talking about the front lines in Ukraine right now.
In the eastern part of Ukraine, the Donbass, the front line
This is
of the
NPR,
Russian
by the way.
invasion has not moved in weeks. Cities there see shelling every night.
Let me know how my
Ukrainian
audio
officials
levels
have
are.
ordered
Will you, Brandon?
evacuations, saying that with scarce resources like fuel and the constant threat of Russian missiles, it's just too
It
dangerous.
seems
to
really
stay.
loud compared to you.
But in a recent visit to the frontline city of Slovyansk, NPR's Alyssa Nadworny found a shuttered town where residents persist.
I don't know how
When
to
you
control
enter
the volume
city,
to
a metal
this.
sign above the road greets you. Slovyansk is Ukraine, it reads. And after more than 6 months of Russia's invasion, it still is. The electricity here is spotty and buses aren't running. Most of the people you see in the city center are on bikes because of it.
Не очень хорошее. Тяжело. Работы нет.
Oksana Morahon and her friend Alexander Alayarov are among them. Morahon, with a bag of grapes tied to her bright orange bike, says it's a really scary existence.
I have visual aids on the
У меня
stream.
просто маленькие дети, она с детворой, а мы как...
They're biking together for safety. They always try and stick together if they can. Alayarov
I
lives
can-
with his
thanks for
wife
being here,
and
back
3
coaster.
kids next door
And-
to Morahon and her
I can definitely Brandon has, he's 100%, like he's 200% in my Discord, but his audio output is just minimal, so I can't make him be any louder. And I don't see a volume control on this particular player, so that's the only way I can hear him is to have my personal volume all the way up and Discord's volume all the way up. So I'll just have to listen quietly for Brandon to say something and then pause the video. So don't just interject. Let me know when you want to say something. I can pause it and then we can hear you, Brandon.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so back to the story.
and her husband.
Просыпаемся, не спим.
They don't sleep at night because of the shelling. Their neighbors sleep in the hallways to get away from the windows. Morahon and Alayarov have been friends for a long time, and that friendship has kept them sane.
Друг другу. Все нормально, все хорошо, все.
Every night they're calling each other, asking, "Are you okay? How are you?" Community is really important. could tell us, especially when you're in a state of survival.
I don't think this was the story that I thought it was.
Horhone works as an assistant at the market. There, she says she can see who's still
Like,
here,
I don't really
which
care
makes her
about
feel
the
less alone.
people interest story of this.
According to the mayor's...
That's
Well,
not,
that's not very nice.
I mean, I know that, like, as a person who's been to a disaster, I try not to think about how awful other people's lives are that I have no control over. I feel bad for the Ukrainians already. There is no need for me to feel worse. If you don't feel bad for the Ukrainians, we can listen to the whole story. Did you want to listen to the whole story? Were you enthralled by it?
I mean, not really, but like I feel bad, you know. Like I'm like, oh my god, these poor people.
Oh right, like don't take away from that at all. But I thought there was a report about how they're taking it back. That might be in something in one of these other later situations. But I think there's good news from the Ukrainian front as far as that goes, and that wasn't the best one. This is the one about the. Have you heard about the nuclear plant situation?
Where like Russia took over the nuclear plant?
Well, currently it's in one of these disputed regions where there is like fighting in the area. Ergo, they're like at one point the power plant lost power connection, and they need power connection to keep producing power because they have to have power to power their jet. It's a complicated situation, but they're afraid it's going to blow up. So we got a 3-minute listen about what the inspectors are going to be looking for when they go over, because they've finally been allowed to come in, and it's a sketchy situation. They had one the other day that was talking about like we should be alarmed, we are alarmed until we have further conflicts. So let's listen to the story.
International inspectors are in Ukraine preparing to visit a nuclear power plant at risk of disaster.
Yeah, the Zaporizhia plant has been under Russian occupation since March. And in recent weeks, it's been a cause for grave concern among nuclear watchdogs because there's been shelling in the area along with power cuts.
Joining us to discuss this inspection is NPR's Jeff Brumfield. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So let's just talk quickly about conditions at the plant. What do we know?
Well, things are looking pretty dicey at the moment. A satellite image Monday from the company Maxar showed Russian armored vehicles parked at the nuclear reactors. There were holes in the roof of an auxiliary building, presumably from recent shelling, and wildfires are burning nearby. So all in all, this is really not the way you want a nuclear power plant.
Oi.
No.
Oi.
Okay, and into all this are heading these inspectors. Who are they?
So this is a team from the International Atomic Energy Agency. They're based out of Vienna, and they travel to nuclear facilities all over the world. They've been to some pretty dicey places like Iran and North Korea.
These guys must have a shit job.
It's really something different. Not only do you have this huge plant, Europe's largest, but Russian and Ukrainian troops are actively fighting around it. I spoke to Lars van Dussen, the executive director of the World Institute for Nuclear Security. He says there's never been a mission like this one.
This is an environment that I cannot imagine that the IA has ever been in before, coming in between two warring parties.
So in an active war zone, coming into this plant where two sides are fighting all around it, what can the inspectors actually do?
Well, a former inspector named Shirley Johnson told me they actually should be able to figure out quite a bit about how the big reactors are doing.
Just by going to the control room, they're going to be able to look at pressures and flows and coolants and really get a good picture of how the facilities are working.
And they can also do things like check to make sure the backup generators and safety systems are running properly. But there's something much more important here, and that's the people working at the plant. A skeleton crew of Ukrainians have been running it, and they've reportedly been doing so while being harassed by Russian troops. Johnson says it's really important to find out.
They should probably shut it down.
And that's going to be a tough job for inspectors.
Really, but like,
it kind of depends on whether the...
Say again, nobody can hear you, Brandon.
I said if it's a power plant, I think like it's gonna have to stay on though, right?
Well, I mean, because I definitely have another story about the energy crisis in Europe right now. This is a prelude to that story, so that's why maybe we've heard enough about this story for you guys to grasp the picture of what's going on with that particular power plant. And keep in mind that nuclear power plants. Let's look that up before I quote it. How much power do you get from nuclear power plants? How much do they produce? One gigawatt of power per plant on average. It is a lot of that's a lot of power. Especially if it doesn't tell you how much, like per hour, per year, per month, or whatever. But still, that's nuclear power plants put out like huge amounts of power. I want to say that I've read somewhere that says like 33% of Europe's power comes from this particular nuclear power plant, and they're already having a whole crisis with the Nord Stream pipeline here. This is our next. This leads us into our next story from the BBC.
Gas supplies from a major pipeline to Europe for the next 3 days. Moscow has already significantly reduced the amount of gas.
As we remember, this is the same Nord Stream pipeline that they shut off, and everybody freaked out when gas prices went up the last time because they were like, "Oh, we need this part that Canada has, and we're going to shut it off." And they were like, "Oh shit." So now here we are back to this.
It supplies through Nord Stream 1, which comes into the continent via Germany.
If you haven't bought gas, I would do it today.
Against Russia, which he claimed prevented normal repair work. Let's go live to our correspondent.
I guarantee the prices of oil is going to be up higher tomorrow morning.
Damien, Russia's blaming this closure on sanctions. What's going on?
Well, I don't think anyone believes what Russia is saying here in Germany. Certainly the German government doesn't. Russia has already reduced drastically and at times has already stopped delivery of gas via this one remaining major pipeline to Germany. This time it's supposed to be just for 3 days. Russia says it's because of repair work needed, connected to sanctions, but the German government says this is the Kremlin simply using gas as a weapon. There is deep concern here. However, there is no sense of panic, and that's because over the last few months, Germany has managed to really fill its gas reserves much faster than expected due to a lot of savings measures. Public buildings are no longer lit at night in some cities. Temperatures have been reduced in some public buildings when it comes to hot water, for example.
See,
also there's been...
Now, I was watching a Fox News article yesterday where they're all freaking out about all the German people out there chopping down wood and like really preparing to have this super cold winter and super expensive gas prices, and he's causing all these city blackouts and things like that as like a cause and effect kind of thing. Like they're like, oh, there's already causing like city blackouts. They're already out of gas. The energy crisis is here. It's now. And to hear it from him, it's just them being smart. And we're like, oh, well, Putin's gonna shut off this gas pipeline eventually. So we probably ought to like start shaving back where we can now to start reserve. Like this is a brilliant. This is a. I hope this is a much sunnier way to put this than Fox News did. And this is one of the things I do on my show is call a difference to how Fox News is awful and CNN, but Fox News is just specifically awful. So there's a reason. Go watch their reaction to this versus what somebody who lives in Germany, works for the BBC, has an actual first-hand perspective of how things work in the government, because they're not, in America, they'd have flipped the fuck out if we had to shut down government buildings for some reason for like power situations, because America, like, we're the most powerful nation in the world. How dare we not be able to light our monuments? But we would never think to do that to save our energy reserves. I feel like it's a whole flux. Brandon, do you have an opinion?
I don't. It's just madness, I tell you. Madness.
Okay, well, we'll continue the story, but I wanted to interject and give you a opportunity to talk as well.
Been other deliveries from other European countries of gas, such as Norway and the Netherlands. All of this means that now Germany's gas reserves, the gas reserve tanks, are more than 80% full, and that's much quicker than expected. Germany needs 85% full gas reserves to get through the winter without any extra deliveries from Russia. So that's why the German government today has said, well, actually, this isn't a terrible situation, because what is now happening is that Germany can start buying gas, and it doesn't have to pay any old price. It doesn't have to pay the highest price, and that's why Germany's economy minister, Robert Habeck, this morning said that in fact, gas prices in Germany may start going down. So quite a positive message coming out of Berlin.
Hey!
To counter the idea that Germany is completely dependent on Russian gas, which was the case before the invasion or the full-on invasion of Ukraine.
I mean, right? They've had 6 months to deal with it and make a plan for something else, right? Like,
Berlin now when it comes to gas supply.
That's the whole like
So
perk to world economy.
Ahead, but long term, Damien, how are German efforts to reduce dependency on Russian energy overall? How are they going?
Yeah, well, it really depends on what sort of time frame we're looking at. So, what the crisis is really about getting through this winter, as you say, and that is going to be difficult. Prices are going to rise. How you ease the burden on poorer households is the big debate right now, and that's what the government is meeting about today. And over the next few days, is going to release more measures. The third rescue package, if you like, which is going to help households deal with high energy costs. The midterm,
yeah, it was shut down for
really
10 days in July,
years,
in case you missed that.
And that's going to be LNG, so liquefied natural gas, and Germany is already.
That's when it
talking to
spiked
Canada,
back in the day, and everybody's like,
building
"Brrr!"
LNG
That was
terminals, which
those
would have
10
been
days.
unheard of before the full invasion of Ukraine in February. So midterm, you're looking at some quite difficult decisions because you've got the Greens in the government in Germany, and they don't want to rely on LNG, which is seen as more environmentally damaging. But
I love watching the BBC because, like, they actually put people on television that aren't perfect looking.
Towards, and that's why.
Not that he's not an attractive gentleman. I'm just saying that he's not perfect looking. You know what I'm saying?
Solar infrastructure and wind power.
He looks normal.
Which really will help Germany.
Looks normal. So that's talking about this Russian, like the whole Russian war situation. So I think that's going to bring us into the military suffering manpower shortages, based, like says the U.S. Military intelligence. The Russian military is suffering manpower shortages as it battles Ukraine and is seeking to recruit contract service members and may even draw in convicted criminals, a U.S. official said on Wednesday, citing U.S. intelligence. Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a decree last Thursday to increase the size of Russia's armed forces from 1.9 million to 2.04 million as the war in Ukraine enters its 7th month. Moscow, yeah, right, 7th month is this. Did you know that he invaded on the half anniversary of, like, it was the 30th anniversary, and then 6 months later he invaded to the day. Like, so now, I mean, right? Like, the whole thing was set up for, like, I feel like from 5-6 years ago, at least. It's probably why I got Trump in the office in the first place, because, like, I feel like Trump really weakened America as, like, a democracy, as, like, a world power. Like, we have our own internal struggles right now, so nobody in America is really paying attention to what's going on outside of America because, like, we're too focused internally. I don't think, had we had a strong president, like, had we had a president in the White House that, like, 75% of Americans believed in when Russia invaded Ukraine, and they said, "Oh, hell no, we Americans, we gonna go take care of that shit," and just drove all of our shit over there and was like, "Now what, bitch?" He'd have been like, "Oh, let me step out of that." that's what is some. I feel like I have. Oh, that's my. I was like, something else is playing, and I was freaking myself out.
Would you do that?
I forgot that I have the stream playing on miniature on my phone as well. I was like, oh, I can kind of hear myself delayed. Anywho, hashtag marijuana. I need to make, like, a marijuana emote. I feel like that needs to be a thing. That might have to be my next custom, like, sub emote. Would be a marijuana leaf. I'll have to make it happen. Anyway, so we know that Russia's having issues with this whole war situation. That's why I say there might be good news in the battle, because we see Russia's, like, freaking out. But now, we talked about India the other day, and you were like, "What, India? They're picking the bad side, I think." Like, I'm calling India as the third power in the Axis for World War III. If I get to put money on it, it's gonna be India. Also, can I say I hate Catherine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary? I don't really know her as a person, but I hate her as the White House press secretary. How about that? She's always on Air Force. Like, I try to listen to the briefings, and she's always on Air Force One, traveling from somewhere to somewhere while she's taking a briefing. So there's the engine noise in the background. You can barely hear her or the reporters in any kind of live broadcasts, and they really mess up their YouTube channel, like, horrifically. If you get, like, the White House has something like 487,000 subscribers. When they go live, they put up "will begin shortly," and 400,000 people watch it, and then they never start streams sometimes. Like 400,000 people tune into their streams because it's the White House. And then sometimes those streams never even happen. They just say, we'll begin shortly. It's 45 minutes of that, and then the stream ends. 400,000 people watch that for like 40 minutes.
That's wild. Is it because they're just trying to like go somewhere?
I mean, like, well, I mean, she probably does go. Well, like, I'm not sure why she's always on Air Force One somewhere. Like, I don't know. But her job is to be the White House press secretary. I feel like if you were going to be my White House press secretary, you would have to be available to the press. Like, I need you to be the filter. Like, when somebody comes to you and is like, hey, I got a question. I got a tip from this guy who says that, you know, deep throats in the hotel. What was it? God, Watergate is in the Watergate. And I'm like, oh, no, oh, shit. She needs to be the one that calls you with that information. Like, hey, do you know anything about deep throat in the Watergate? And, you know, that's her job, is to liaison the press. I feel like since Trump, the press has been so aggressive with the White House press secretaries. They all have to be like cutthroat, and they all have like this like Napoleonic complex where they're standing around like, you go, you go, you go. Were it me, were I the president, my press secretary would bring you guys like cupcakes every day. She'd be nice and pleasant to everyone, make sure everybody's questions got answered. Like, that would be her job.
This is your job.
Like, I need you to schmooze the press. This is your job. Make them like you. Thank you so much.
Cupcakes for everyone.
I, as the president, would probably show up randomly to these things with my own homemade baked cupcakes. Just to the press junket. Like, just every once in a while, I just show up. Oh, hey, how you guys? Just popping in just to say hey. No, I'm not going to say anything today. Have some cupcakes. Here you go. You know. Oh my God, that was so gay. I heard the reverb of my own voice in your ear, and I'm like, that's the gayest thing I've ever said.
Cupcakes for everyone. It's what's for dinner.
But I just make great cupcakes, okay? Don't front. I just make great cupcakes.
Yourself, you don't think they have donuts in the press room waiting?
Yeah, but donuts are not homemade. They don't have that TLC.
You don't know that. They could make their own White House donuts.
Do you see Joe Biden making donuts?
How would Joe Biden make donuts?
I bet his wife does. I bet his wife makes donuts. But I mean, would you rather have donuts than a cupcake?
Yes.
I think donuts would be easier to eat than a cupcake.
Have you ever tried the trick with breaking off the bottom and putting it on top and making a sandwich?
I have not tried that yet.
It's the best way to eat a cupcake. Trust me, when we're on vacation, I'm going to make some cupcakes for you that are going to blow your fucking mind. They'll probably also be made with THC, so they really will blow your fucking mind. But
this is how I got even fatter than I already am.
Sharon asked me today if I was going to eat out the whole time, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to eat out the whole time, but I can't wait to have some beignets. Bitch, I've been at the point by the time I get to vacation, I will have been on this no carb, no sugar diet for 2 months. I'm gonna eat some fucking beignets. Like, I'm gonna eat the hell out of some fucking beignets. Let me tell you that. Somebody better call New Orleans and remind them to like buy an extra shipment of beignets for that week, cause I'm coming.
Yes, New Orleans. You know.
You about to have a beignet shortage, okay?
This bitch is coming. He's crazy.
I've been called worse things than crazy, for sure.
And then I'm gonna tell them to hide their wives, hide their husbands,
and protect their groundwater. Don't forget that. Ooh.
Groundwater.
Is that shot fired? Is that a shot fired for Mississippi? Shot fired. Oh wait, y'all haven't heard that? We didn't actually finish the first one. Everyone, let's finish the story about the United States being concerned about India. Did I read this to you guys yet?
I still don't understand why.
Okay, I'm about to tell you. The United States is concerned about India's plans to participate in joint military exercises with Russia. White House Press Secretary Kian Jean-Pierre said on Tuesday, last month Moscow announced plans to hold Vosik East exercises from August 30th through September 5th even as it wages a costly war in Ukraine. The military exercises are expected to include China, India, Belarus, Mongolia, Tajikistan, and other countries. China's defense ministry has said. Asked about India's participation, Jean-Pierre told reporters as President Joe Biden flew to Pennsylvania that see, she was on the plane again. The United States was concerned about any country participating in military exercises with Russia while it is at war with Ukraine. Like, I feel like there's not a whole lot of news going on about these military exercises. Like, did you guys know these were happening?
No.
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me, BT Dubs. Like, for the record. Also, speaking of apocalyptic things that scare the shit out of me, let's talk about the climate. I've got a story from CBS News here that is awful, and I shouldn't laugh at it at all. I shouldn't make any kind of sad segue because this is really sad. A toddler killed as an intense storm brings hailstones the size of softballs in Spain. I just want to show you the picture. There's a picture of some of the things falling. And the man who shot this photo was saying to the reporter, "This is not normal, gentlemen. This is not normal." The man filming this on his cell phone said, "God is coming soon. Repent, because God loves you."
God, it just be the earth.
So I just want to like softball-sized hail. Can you imagine? It's only happened for 10 minutes, but there's pictures of these. Look at like the impact crater on this windshield. Like that's nuts. Nuts. And that brings us back to the Mississippi water crisis. Are we familiar with what's going on down there? No? Okay. The water crisis in Mississippi capital has left scores of people without running water in sweltering temperatures and stoked fury over the state and federal response. After flooding overwhelmed the city's fragile water system, President Joe Biden last night issued an emergency declaration for Mississippi entitling the state to help and money from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. State and officials have said it's unclear how many of the city's 150,000 residents are still without safe drinking water. We have thousands of lives are in danger from floodwaters moving across the city from pathogens as heat increase, said Mustafa Santiago Ali, a former EPA environmental justice advisor and founder of the nonprofit Revitalization Strategies. I'm concerned we have an extreme heat and elders won't be able to hydrate, which puts people's lives in danger. We know that black folks die twice the rate of our white brothers and sisters. End quote. Why he asked hasn't cashed from state revolving funds and the 1.2 trillion infrastructure package that Biden signed last fall been helped to use Jackson. Jackson's population is 81.8% black and 16% white, with poverty rate of 26.9%, slightly higher than the rest of the state, according to the Census Bureau. When will those dollars make it to the cities like Jackson and Ali, now the vice president of the National Wildlife Federation? And what's the long-term plan to address the needs the climate crisis is going to have on these systems? Scientists warn that climate change will intensify water problems as extreme weather brings more frequent and intense floods throughout drought. Okay, so I guess this doesn't cover all that, but in addition to this, they've now lost the ability to process water. So like one of the factories went down today where they can't process, like it's a desalination plant has gone, so they've lost even more. Situation with the plant maintenance staffing woes. Also, I guess that's why it broke. Maybe they are going to talk about this, but I don't want to read the whole article. Can I play it? Maybe.
So I wanted to provide you an update on our efforts to support the people of Jackson and the state of Mississippi. The president spoke with the mayor of Jackson this morning, and the FEMA administrator also spoke with the governor. The president last night also immediately approved the governor's emergency declaration request, directing his team to surge assistance to the state. FEMA has personnel on site in the State Emergency Operations Center and is coordinating with State Emergency Management Team to identify specific resource requirements. The Environmental Protection Agency is deploying a subject matter expert to support the emergency assessment of the Jackson water treatment plants and is working to expedite delivery of equipment needed to repair Jackson's water treatment plant. We are committed to helping the people of Jackson and the Mississippi and the state of Mississippi during this urgent time of need.
You talked about the help that's coming from FEMA and the disaster declaration, but clearly Jackson is going to need an entirely new water system. They've been having big problems even before this latest crisis. What kinds of federal resources are being dedicated, can be dedicated to what could be a $1 billion price tag to provide Jackson with an entirely new water system?
So a couple of things. As we said, the administration is committed to helping the people of Mississippi during this urgent time of need. And so we're going to prioritize that and making the long-term infrastructure investment needed to ensure all Americans just across have access across the country, but clearly in the state have access to clean water. So that is something that we're committed, that long-term need. So just a couple of things just to list out that we have provided and that we are doing from the federal government.
Okay, I'm going to pause it. Are you guys watching stream as well?
Yeah.
Do you have an ad up right now?
Yes.
Just for my own kicks and giggles. We all watch ads at the same time.
I had to turn the stream on in Discord so I could hear what was going on.
Oh, right. I did the same thing for Brandon so he could do it. But I played an ad for the stream because I have to do it every 20 minutes or so to be able to disable pre-rolls. So I haven't figured out how it works for the stream and who is able to see what. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. It doesn't tell me when it cuts off, like when it stops playing to the audience and when it returns. I don't have any notification of like when or go. But and when I click the button, it's not instantaneous either.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like that's something Twitch really needs to work on. Cause like.
Did you lose all your subscribers when you became affiliate?
No.
Start over?
No, I still have 81 followers. I have one
followers, but not subscribers.
Right, because you couldn't subscribe to me at all until I became an affiliate. Now you have the ability to subscribe to me, which is a great thing to do if you haven't already. If you happen to have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to me for free. Just saying. But you do get access to the emotes. You're not supposed to watch any ads. And if you have it from Prime, you're just giving me that $5 instead of Jeff Bezos. It costs you nothing. Just do it for free. Help a bro out. Maybe you'll be there, like, ground running for when the political career starts. And I'm still going to stream every Wednesday, even if I'm president. I'm going to make that my whole platform. I'm going to live stream the presidency. Every Wednesday, I'll be here to communicate with the general public.
I'm here.
Wouldn't that be weird? Do you think people would show up to a president's live stream?
Not much different than following a president on Twitter.
I mean, right? I would just be like Twitch's golden boy because the first president to ever live stream on Twitch. Can we start the gamer party?
Be fine.
I would love that. Just like
play Fortnite with the president.
That's how you that's how I'd get initial campaign donations, I guess. You'll just like do crazy gimmicks. Be like, all right, I'm going 24-hour League of Legends for my campaign donations.
Like, why does the president always play this game?
Nobody.
I kick the president's ass in that game.
You probably do. I'm not very good at it, but I would play it because if people know it, like League of Legends is like baseball of esports. It's well known. Maybe soccer. It's like the soccer of esports. Because Americans don't know about it, but the rest of the world does. Okay, so Mississippi's in peril. Spain's got giant ice. Does anybody watch the PBS NewsHour?
No.
I think they're going to do a better solution than probably this NPR. So let's listen to this.
Of really actionable, scalable, cost-effective things that we can do.
Oh, apparently this is still live.
A probe into whether former President Trump mishandled classified material.
Just because I've already listened to a whole bunch of NPR
after
stories
Roe, South Carolina's state house votes to impose an almost total ban on abortion. We discussed the move.
I was like, you made it sound like there was something bad
to
happening.
Support the measure after initially opposing it.
Bad where?
And climate.
That's what I was asking, because you made it sound like there was something
followed by massive flooding threatens crops in vulnerable farming communities.
No, I mean
I've
used several NPR articles. I just try not to get all my news sources from the
goes
same
to
place.
farmers. It's just absolutely crazy that one of the most affected populations in the world, one of the most vulnerable populations in the world, and there's just like they don't even exist as part of the climate dialogue.
All that and more on tonight's PBS NewsHour.
Right, I'm just straight up stealing PBS's broadcast. In case you don't watch your local PBS station, you should have to donate to your local PBS station.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by...
Because I love this. I listen to their podcast. Of course, I can skip all this.
Department now says classified materials were removed and concealed at Mar-a-Lago, possibly amounting to obstruction of justice. Trump's legal team responded tonight. In a court filing, the lawyers argue Trump lawfully possessed the records and they were not cause for alarm. Earlier today, the former president insisted that he had declassified the documents. He is calling for the appointment of a special master to oversee the review of the documents. We'll dig into the details after the news summary. The Food and Drug Administration authorized 2 updated COVID-19 boosters today, the first in the U.S. to target the Omicron strain. FDA officials said they want to head off another winter surge and cut down on repeated shots.
The hope here is not to have to give lots of vaccines each year.
What?
Remember I had it in December? No, did we have? I don't remember.
Omicron? Right, that's like what they just now came out. But still, they just now came
That
out with the
Omicron came after Delta.
Came out of what?
Came after Delta.
Oh, I had Delta.
But I mean,
Delta Dental? Yeah, I have them.
You're special. The Delta variant. I think it does come after Delta, but I think it was still. I guess I could Google it. Uno momento. When was Omicron?
Percy I6.
I love
or
that.
Percy I8, I mean.
VA.
I fucked that up.
Well, that probably means there's a 6, too. Alpha, Omega. South Africa in late November 2021 was when that was first identified, and they're just now coming out with a vaccine for it. I feel like that seems a stretch.
Here, it's hopefully to have this be.
That was a stretch. People complain about how fast they came up with the one.
Yeah, but I mean, but the difference between the first one and a variant booster shouldn't be that much. And it took them 8 months to figure out what the difference in the variant was. Especially since, I mean, like, it just seems to me that it's a little bit past the pall on this one. Like, Pandora opened that box and coughed it in your face 2 years ago. Haven't we got to, like, herd immunity by now? Aren't these variants the same thing as, like, flu variants or cold variants at this point? Or do you feel otherwise?
You still got to adjust.
How many are you vaccinated and boosted?
Just vaccinated.
See, I haven't got a booster, and I don't think I will.
I got a booster.
You got a booster?
Booster seat? No, I'm joking. Yeah, I got the booster.
How did that make you feel?
I mean,
what?
I was fine.
Like, did it make you sick like the first one?
No, I didn't get sick the first one either.
That's probably because you already had COVID before you got the vaccine and the booster, probably. How many times have you had COVID?
One that I know about. Two, I think I had it like once before when it was either like January in like 2020 or 2020.
Are you concerned about like the long-term effects of COVID?
I mean,
I've been thinking that it's like multiplicative.
Not at this point. Not at this point in my life. I am not concerned.
That's fair. That's fair. You probably have other stuff to worry about. That's silly to worry about such things. When, the climate's on fire, clean air and water is probably going to kill us before anything else. Or maybe nuclear bombs. Anyway, back to the news hour.
Vaccine that hopefully holds us for as much of this or for the entire season.
Should we skip all
Pfizer's new booster will be available to left from Kiev today, saying it's not been this low since 1996. In Ukraine, UN inspectors arrived in Zaporizhia city en route to an endangered nuclear power plant. There's been repeated shelling around the site, now under Russian control.
Former President Donald Trump's Florida home earlier this month. In its 36-page filing, the DOJ writes that the classified documents were at one point, quote, likely concealed and removed, and that efforts were likely taken to obstruct the government's investigation. The FBI search was the culmination of a month-long effort that began in May of last year, when the National Archives first requested missing records from the Trump team.
Say one more time.
You probably should have kept them in the basement. Put them someplace secret and secure.
I mean, this is the whole. I'll let them continue explaining because I've listened to this already. You're like, the National Archives is not like a partisan place. If anybody wants to go to the National Archives, you are welcome to do so. And it's just boxes and boxes and boxes full of paperwork that's categorized, organized. Like, the people who run it are basically librarians. So keep that in mind as you listen to this story.
The first batch of 15 boxes was sent to Washington in January and included 184 classified documents. 4 months later, a grand jury subpoena was given to the Trump team requesting all other classified materials. In June, the FBI went to Mar-a-Lago and was given 38 additional classified documents. Trump's lawyers said there were no other documents stored on site, but would not allow FBI investigators to verify that. When the FBI executed a search warrant earlier this month, they found 76 classified documents in the storage room that they were not allowed into in June, and an additional 3 documents in Trump's desk drawer. To help explain the new court filing, I'm joined by Chuck Rosenberg. He's a former federal prosecutor and an FBI official. Chuck Rosenberg, welcome back to the NewsHour. So what is the release of this FBI filing and what they're saying here? Tell us about what the former president did with these documents.
Well, it tells us more about the documents than what the former president necessarily did with them. Search warrants are executed to recover evidence, and it was done lawfully with the authorization of a federal judge. But it doesn't necessarily tell you who did what, who packed the documents, who understood that there were classified materials within those boxes, and who may have obstructed justice. It could have been the former president. It could have been people who worked for him. They could have been doing that at his direction. If you recall, Judy, a large portion of the FBI's affidavit was redacted. And lots of the good answers to those good questions are probably in those redactions.
And on the content question, on what was in here, will we ever know what's here?
Again, maybe, and I know that's a frustrating answer. But if charges are brought against the former president or someone else, then very likely you'll see the details made public in a court filing or reduced as evidence at a trial. But if the investigation closes without charges being brought, then probably not.
When we see, and we have a picture that the FBI released of the documents spread out on the floor. I mean, we're looking at, top secret. I mean, clearly this is sensitive material here.
Highly sensitive material, and those cover sheets, which were on your screen just a moment ago, are easily detected, right? There's no mistake, Judy, when you have a classified document in your hand, because you have a classified document cover sheet marked secret or top secret, as the case may be. And as you turn each page, there are markings at the top and bottom of each page, and there are even paragraph markings. So there wouldn't be a mistake about the nature of the document.
The DOJ, and again, this is what we were quoting a moment ago, among other things, they're saying efforts were likely taken, and you just referred to this, to obstruct the government's investigation. If that's proven, is that breaking a law?
If it was done intentionally, so let me explain. For instance, we know that Mr. Trump's lawyers had represented to the Department of Justice that they had done a thorough search and there were no more classified documents behind. That turned out not to be true. Right. Was it intentionally false? In other words, were they just bad lawyers? Did they fail in their due diligence? Being a bad lawyer is not a crime. Or were they misled by someone else? Were they told perhaps by their client that the search was thorough and they passed on bad information? Or did they know that there were documents there but misrepresented it to the Department of Justice? So the first two scenarios, bad lawyering, a failure of due diligence, let me add as well, being misled by your client, is not a crime. But the last one, joining in a conspiracy to hide documents and making a misrepresentation to the Department of Justice, that would be. Deciding whether to try to get answers to those questions that you just described, who makes that decision? So deciding to try and get answers would be the prosecutors and the agents. And that's why they do lots of interviews. For instance, they wanted to see surveillance footage from Mar-a-Lago. Why? It would tell you who's coming and going and who's coming and going with what in their hands. And those are people you want to talk to. And by talking to people and getting their best recollection, and hopefully their truthful best recollection, you can begin to understand whether these things were done intentionally or negligently. Intention is what's required to prove a crime. The early reporting seems to be, Chuck Rosenberg, that DOJ is not expected to file charges. How should we read that?
So sad.
I know you're not inside the Justice Department right now,
DOJ's not
but what do you think we could expect here?
Well, no charges, no story.
Not be charges before the midterm elections.
Right.
But there's an ongoing investigation. The Attorney General of the United States has told us that, and he said that they're going to follow the facts wherever they lead. There is a long-standing Department of Justice policy not to bring charges or to take overt investigative steps near the time of an election. It's not 60 or 90 days. There's no number in the policy. For the purpose of, and this is really important language, for the purpose of interfering in an election. So they may go quiet for a time, but that doesn't mean the investigation has stopped. You can still do things covertly, quietly, secretly, to further your investigation while you're in this pre-election quiet period. Do you think we can expect that for now the FBI has found whatever there is to be found among the former president's possessions, the things that he took with him when he left office? That sounds logical and likely. They executed a search warrant and they had authority to look in places where documents might be found. And they spent hours? And they spent hours. Yeah. By the way, that's one reason why they go in with a lot of people. If they only went in with one person, it would take a lot longer. So you bring a lot of agents, you do a thorough search. It's pursuant to a lawfully authorized warrant signed by a federal judge, and that becomes part of the investigation. But that doesn't mean the investigation is over. It doesn't mean that they could not or would not execute another search warrant somewhere else. You follow the facts and you follow the leads and you go where they go. And what do you look for at this point next here? Well, I'm biased, Judy. I come from the Department of Justice. I have great faith in their work and their ability to do that work. I don't know when we'll hear again from Merrick Garland, but typically the Department of Justice speaks in court or through pleadings like the one that was released last night, through motions, through written documents, and I'm looking for those. Chuck Rosenberg, we are grateful to you. Thank you. My pleasure.
Well, so how do we feel about the Trump situation?
That's a great question.
I know how I feel about it. I think 2024 is definitely going to be like when we look back in 10 years and be like, oh, that's when the apocalypse started.
Like, that's when the apocalypse happened.
Some people would say it was 2020.
Right, like, when did it really begin? I think it was actually 2024. Or maybe that's when the Civil War will start. The apocalypse started in 2020. Civil War is going to start in 2024. So the chat's been quiet today. I've seen people come in and out. Like, my viewer number has changed many times throughout this journey. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow if you're out there now or you're out there on the YouTube, on the YubTubs. I'm sorry I don't stream to there anymore. I can no longer sustain that. That was costing me $20 a month to be able to stream both places at both times, and it's really unnecessary. So if somebody else wants, if you're really desperate for me to stream on YouTube, $20 a month, it's yours. Just subscribe to the channel. Thanks. I'll make it happen. What else are we gonna do? Do you guys have any news you want to talk about, or anything that's happening in your lives that's exciting?
Not really.
Nothing exciting.
Nothing fun.
Wow, that seems like you guys are just living on edge there.
You caught me.
Okay, so I want to explain League of Legends to Brandon. And I say that because I have been thinking about League of Legends when actually TFT is probably more your speed. Have I talked to you about TFT?
What's TFT?
Team Fight Tactics. It's also a mobile game. You can play it on your phone. It's pretty fun. So I'll just play a game. And I'll do ranked because at least it might be a challenging game. So the way Teamfight Tactics works is you have gold that you can buy cards with. If you collect 3 of the cards, you get, like, it evolves to another level. If you collect 3 of the 3, well, let me roll an ad before I explain this to JK. So pre-rolls stop being a thing. It just notified me. There is notification that's happening. So we'll be back. Hopefully we'll be loading into the screen by the time the ad is over, and then it won't be that big of a deal. If you've never played TFT before, we'll still be explaining it, I'm sure, whenever this goes. I wish I knew when it was going to happen. Also, stoners in the house, take your smoke breaks. I called it Stoney News. That was what I called it.
It's like, how am I supposed to know when to take my smoke break?
Because when the ads happen, duh. This one says 1 of 4. I don't understand how the ads work at all. I'm trying to figure out the data on that. Okay, so we're loading into the game as we speak. So you got gold. The gold accrues per round. You can get interest based on like how many little pips on the side you get. I'll explain that as we go. But like you have to build a chessboard, and your opponent is going to rotate, and their chessboard is going to move into your little world, and you're going to fight them, and then whoever wins progresses. Like you have life points. Like you start out with 100 life points. Also, the tip is always go for swords and bows. Swords and bows are the best ones, because these are items, and you create items by mixing 2 together, give you a better item, and you can attach it to your champion. Like, this fellow is a Shimmer Scale Warrior, and he's going to fight these 2 little minion guys, because the first 3 rounds are against NPC opponents to gather you some items, champions, gold, etc. But these traits here give you different bonuses. So like if I get 2 warriors, both of them will have 80% damage. If I get 3 shimmer scales, they'll give me 1 unique item. So now I have 2 bows. If I put these 2 bows together, it would give me a rapid fire cannon, which I'm not going to do right off the bat. I also see that I have 3 jades. So I can sell that guy put my 2 jades out, because jade, I just happen to know, because I've played this game quite a bit, is a rather powerful trait at this point, that once you get 3 of them, it gets you an extra little statue that explodes when they kill it, and it gives everybody around it attack speed and healing. And look, there's my third jade person. So now I have 3 jades. I can put that up front, and there's my little dude. But I want to move them all together because all the surrounding ones give it this. Each combat allies who start combat adjacent to the statue gain maximum health, healing every 2 seconds, and bonus attack speed. When a statue is destroyed, it deals 33% of its health and as magic damage to nearby enemies. I have no gold. We're at level 3. You can purchase experience points with 4 gold, and you can refresh this whole row of cards with 2 gold. These are augments. You get 3 of them total. The first one says the unit in the center of the board gains 45 ability power increased after one. It's not stupid. Cutthroat, Assassin's Mana Reeve. The first unit, that's stupid. Gain 1 spatula and a random item component. That's good. Spatulas let you create, like, it's like a wild card for a trait based on what you get. So, like, out of the spatula, like, now I could create a Cavalier emblem, an Assassin emblem, or a Rage Wing emblem. And that doesn't actually help me at this point. So I'm going to let it ride. Astral's a good one. Like these astral shapeshifters, like if I wasn't already collecting jades, I would be collecting astrals because there's 3 of them right there in the bat. You got cannons, there's a whole bunch of traits, and it's got a lot of like replayability to it because the augments change every time. The players you play against change every time. So like, just because I'm collecting jade this round, if somebody collects the set, like there's somebody else who's also collecting jade, and it looked like they're gonna beat me because they have the Dragonmancer emblem and the Ash, so they have Jade and Dragonmancer because of that emblem. Dragonmancer lets you use the Dragonmancer blessing item to choose a hero. The hero gains massively increased health and ability power, which increases 20% per level of your Dragonmancers. So, sometimes you have to change scale midstream, because that guy's going Jade, that guy's going Astral, that guy's going Jade. Like, there's a whole bunch of people going Jade. So there's a limited number of cards in the deck, so that might not mean that I can't do Jade anyway. So if I'm looking into emblems that I can make, like there's the Cavalier emblem, and there's the Cavalier, and I had 2 extra gold, because each one of these little pips gets you 5 extra gold. So like, right now I'm going to get 1 extra gold because I have the 10 gold in my bank, because you get a little pip for each 10 you have, up to 50. You also get gold for having a win streak. You get gold. You get 1 point for winning, or 1 gold for winning. So how does everybody feel about it? Do you have questions? If you ask questions, it'll probably help.
It just, I don't know. Interesting.
It's different. See, like, there's that, and I can put in a Scale Sworn. Oops, I need to buy it.
When going gets tough, you call
Scale Sworn Assassin. So now I've switched from Jades to Scale Sworn. I can sell those guys. Can actually put in a better Guardian now, because he's better, because he was worth 2 points instead of the other one who was worth 1 point. So theoretically, the more you're trying to put the most amount of gold on the board at one time. Like, if she's a 3 cost, 2 cost, 2 cost, 2 cost. So I've got level 4, but I have 9 gold on the board. But this one's a 3 cost, a 3 cost. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're at about the same gold-wise. I happen to think Diana's pretty OP right now, but I don't know if I'm going to win. Because these guys are both tanky AF. And, like, each one of these little dudes that I'm using is an actual playable character in the regular League of Legends. Is why they're tied together. But you don't actually have to know who or what they are to play this game. I don't even know what I want. I'm gonna pick this.
Sounds like a personal issue.
It's hard, because I have a whole bunch of stuff. But I picked that Varus because he has that Nilslar's Rod, which I know makes a Runaan's, but it also makes a Mage emblem. Nope, that's it makes a Dragonmancer emblem, which would have been good for me if I had kept the Jade, but I looked around, I noticed that there's 2 other people doing it, so it's unlikely they're gonna get it. So I'll sell this guy. What happened? And then I'm gonna put this on her, because it's a really good item. That's the Rudan's Hurricane. Grants 6% bonus attack speed, and the effect stacks. So I think every time she attacks something, she gets attacked again. And I can make another assassin emblem, which would help, but I don't have another person who does any damage, so it wouldn't be helpful as of yet. Is it my Discord blowing up, or is it somebody else's Discord blowing up?
I think it's me. Is that Discord noise? Is that what it is?
I think that's a Discord noise. That's Discord.
Driving me crazy. I was going to ask Brandon about it.
Oh yeah, it's not me, no.
Huh?
It wasn't me, no.
It was coming from your laptop, though.
Oh, it's probably my Discord. I mean, you can always exit out of that. I have a lot of
Yeah, I know.
So I just got another, like a double Braum, and like these percentages, like I should probably level up since I'm collecting 2s and 3s already. Going to. I wish at least there's.
Line them up. I will bend their knees. Line them up.
Because now I just cost myself another one. Like I was at 30 gold, so I was gonna get 3 per, but I had to spend the money to go up a level. Because look, he's at level 5, but he has no gold. So whether I win or lose, I still get a 1 gold here. And you take less hit point damage early game, so you really want to lose early game and then like come behind victories. And she needs a mana reaver real bad. Like she needs something to help with the mana. Like it's all about getting the right items for the right, like, you need to collect, like, I think the items are harder to control which ones you get. So maybe you should make your comps based on the items you get, but I have really shit items, to be fair. To be fair. I'm not even sure what I really want out of this, though. Like, another Guardian emblem. I could make a Cavalier emblem. I feel like that was the reason she was in the first place. And the Cavalier gets you... Cavaliers gain armor and magic resist at the start of combat, and after each charge, gain 200% the amount for 4 seconds. Charge quickly towards their target whenever they move.
Sounds like a lot.
200% is pretty good. I just sold all those because they weren't what I needed. I know what a Heimerdinger is. I've just got to the point where I played this enough. She's a Jade, she's a Mirage. See, this one's Cavalier again. And that could kind of work out if I made it Assassin instead. Ooh, there's my 4th scale score. So I should really do this. Put him over here, and then we're gonna make that an Assassin emblem.
Alvaro said he didn't see the food downstairs when he went.
Oh, there's food downstairs? Sounds yummy.
Oh, the dog food.
Oh no, sad days. In case you're just joining us, we're playing Teamfight Tactics and talking about dog poo. Welcome in.
Dog food.
Oh, I thought dog poo was more entertaining, actually.
No, it was food. It was food.
So, I think we have a chance. Now we have the Olaf. Olaf usually does a lot of good, and I feel like the Assassin quotient for him with 15 crit damage and 5 crit percent should be good. Of course, I say that, and it looks like we're losing again. I think this was the same Jade situation. Like, there's the Jade shapeshifter plan they have going on again. Looks like their Swain is doing all the damage, and he has 2 items. So that's not good. Assassin's Heart, your team is having 1 additional Assassins, and I gain a Cane. That could be good, because we have 2 already. Your units start combat with no adjacent allies. Your champions and your bench permanently gain 6. I'm taking the extra assassin. And I have a cane, so I could level up and put him in. And now we have 4 assassin, 4 scale scorn, and 2 guardians. So, yay. As far as attacks go, I have the choice of making the Edge of Night or Giant Slayer. Or a Titan's Resolve. Oof. Oof. Those are hard choices. Titan's Resolve gives you 2 attack damage and 2 ability power when attacking or taking damage, and it stacks. So 25 armor and 25 magic resist, plus the ability power. But the Edge of Night gives you, like, at 60 cent, they become untargeted. So, like, as my assassins, that's probably really good. Plus, it already gives them attack and some armor. This one gives them 20% bonus damage if the target has more than 2,200 maximum health. Ooh, we won that one. Yay. And he was a chill in the air that made him there, so he was the one above me. So we're moving up. Moving on up. I'm in bronze rank, so I guess it's like diamond or something. No, just kidding. It's like the iron, I think. So my last high damage was the Diana, but that's because she had an item. I think I might give this Giant Slayer to the Kane. I'm gonna sell this since I need the one for the 40 gold. We have a lot of we need things, but we need an. Yeah, I probably should start re-rolling a little, but you get up to maximum gold at 50, so we'll see how I do. This is Mauling Man. He's number 2 probably, or number 1. He's number 2. But the top 2 are on winning streaks. It's time for the demons to fall. I think they're gonna. I think this is what's gonna happen here. I say that as one of my main damage dealers is dead. Oh, Nunu. I say that, and that's why they're coming from behind. But you also take more damage for the less, like, the more characters are on the table still, the more damage you take, as long as your hit points. So it's good to kill as many as you can, because you also get streak bonuses for winning and losing. So you can win, you can lose 4 in a row if you lose gently, and it's no big deal. As far as looking for items, I think I want to get if I can get a, there isn't one. Oh, there's one. I want to get this giant belt, because I know that makes the Sunfire Cape. So that'll make all my tanks do some damage. The Sunfire Cape puts out an aura that does damage to units around it. I'll read it to you when it lets me. I can't remember. Ooh, scale sword.
Let's show our friends the door.
Nice. I guess now we know which one's gonna get our Sunfire Cape. Sunfire Cape grants 250 bonus health, including its components. For every 2 seconds, an enemy within 2 hexes is burned for 10% of their maximum health as true damage over 10 seconds, and reducing healing done by 50% of that duration. So he's gonna burn people every 2 seconds around him. So the longer he stays alive, the better. And he's a tank, so you know we want him to stay alive for a long time, because that means that my DPS is not dying. I probably also need to move the Olaf over to the right-hand side, because it appears everybody in this match has got all their ADCs on the right side. Rom for the win. If he did any damage, though. He did the most damage that time because of the True Fire. Like, that cape did... That item did as much more damage than his physical damage did. Nice. That's a really good win for us. I'm gonna reroll because I have 2 extra. That was a good win for me. I'm gonna reroll anyway because I'm feeling lucky. Ooh, that was a double win. Got another one. Feeling lucky. Ooh, another win. Feeling lucky.
Gets tough, you call bro.
Ooh, when going look at all, we're feeling so lucky. Oh, look at this. It's raining stuff we need, y'all. Okay, it didn't rain nothing that time. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop. That was a massive power spike for us. We just got a tier 2 Diana, a tier 2 Olaf, a tier 2 Kane. That's pretty huge. That's why we just wrecked this guy who's like, what just happened? You just got wrecked. That's what just happened. Because now that I've leveled them both up, they have tons more damage and tons more hit points. So that's a lot.
Let's show our friends that
I'm not gonna reroll anymore because I'm at 26 gold. Like, that's already kind of low. You really want to have some more, especially for a, like, this is an NPC round, so they're gonna drop gold hopefully, or at least some gold-like item things. That'd be great.
my shield is here.
You never know what you're gonna get. Life is like a box of chocolates. So we're gonna sell this guy. We're gonna sell this guy. We're gonna sell this guy. Another Diana. Another dirty Diana. We also got this new one here that's we're gonna be able to do this. This could be great. This lets us duplicate a champion, which is I love. It's one of my favorites. There's a. Oh, I wish I'd saved that. Oh, I guess I needed it for the assassin, or maybe I wish I'd saved the other. 30 ability power. I'm putting that on Diana. Because she needs the mana. Her special ability is when she gets the full mana, she spins out these orbs. Oh, I forgot to move the Olaf again. Remind me next game, or next reset phase, to move the Olaf. Damn, they just got wrecked. So she has little orbs that spin around and do shit tons of damage, and then when they explode, she gets a shield.
They leave me no
See,
choice.
he was like way ahead of it. He was all the way up here. I'm down here. That was a big, big power boost for us. Because the Scaleborn, they already get 50% magic damage because they have 4 of them.
Bada bang, boom.
They're doing pretty. This is a pretty good team. Future sight. Know who you will play. Gain a item. No need. Your champions holding an item gain health. After 10 seconds, your units gains 6% of their missing health. You have 1 reroll. I'm going to use it because it wasn't my favorite. Your champions holding an item gain that. Salvage bin gain random completed items. Selling champion breaks them apart. Every 2 seconds, guardians taunt all enemies within range. Enemies that attack a guardian shield take magic damage equal to 70% of their shield. We're doing that. That sounds like a good idea since we have our guardian tanks. That finally got me my other Thresh. That sounds really nice as well. That probably means I need to put in, like, I should be angling for my next slot to be Guardians. And it looks like I'll have a Dragon Guardian, perhaps?
The battle is afoot.
If she comes along. But I'll put this Leona here as a space holder, because I need 2 spaces for that. So we should focus on leveling up now. Oh no. Olaf. Olaf. Olaf! No!
Is that like Olaf the...
He is a... He's some kind of, like, he has a whole, like, League of Legends has a whole rich backstory. I do not know his.
I'm going in.
There's my other Jade Guardian. So that's my next 2 to get the 4 Guardian situation. Olaf is definitely Icelandic. I mean, like, his...
I was going to say it's like Frozen.
No.
You want to
No,
finish?
he's like, he predates Frozen, for sure. He seeks glorious death, prematurely gaining 5 attack damage and 10 in hyper roll whenever he dies. Permanently. So he's like, he already has 103 attack damage, so that's more than anybody else in the field, I'm sure, with no items.
I'll be right back. My feetsies are cold.
It's summer.
BRB.
Open a window.
That would make it colder.
How's it? What? I'm confused. You've confused me.
He's got cold feet. You gotta put something warm on.
Oh, but I was saying he should. His house should not be cold enough that his feet are cold. I'm just saying. I really want this Olaf. That's if I get the chance. I want the Olaf. Another perk to losing early is you're lower down on the rotation. Like the higher up you are, the later you get to go in this pick. So you want to be middle of the field most of the game, and then come behind and wreck them all in the end. That's what she said. Right, I know. Alright. So we're gonna try to keep the rest. Might as well try to do that. I have the extra, but we're just spending it on leveling up now.
You're spending money again? Oh my god.
Yep, we're spending digital gold. We might as well call it Bitcoin.
Oh my.
Alright, George. I still have this random null magic cloak, whatever, so I could put it on somebody, or I'll wait to see what we get in our next item drop. This guy's level 7, so he's a level higher than me already. Balls. Ooh, Benico. Ooh. Killed his 3-item dude. Kill the Ash. Kill the Ash. Kill the Ash. No! Oh man. If I killed that Ash in the back, that would've changed that whole battle. Oh, that guy who's already playing Hecarim wants his head real bad. But I gotta level up. And obviously I need, like, I could put this in for some other reason, but I'm gonna put this other Olaf in. Because it's a 2-tier, like that was 9 gold as opposed to this 1 gold I was gonna put in just for the hope of that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get rid of that one. And probably this one too. Because if I level up again and still haven't come across the Dragon Guardian, then I will just put this other 2-tier Braum in. Because money's money, you know what I'm saying? Money is money. And maybe these two things will stack, like when if I ever manage to get him level 3, that attack bonus, he will have died in combat. So I wonder if those two things stack. Remember, because like his is 83, and the other one's is like 100 and something, because he's died so much. So here's my next bit. I get to rotate these. Another Giant Slayer. And another one, like I pretty much have all those, so I'm gonna refresh it. That's not what I wanted either. Not having luck with this. Alright, I guess I'll take that. I chose that one because it gave me a Reforger. So I can just click on this to get rid of that from the Olaf. That was awful. Also, I wanted this one for the magic burn, because I think she's the only one doing magic, right? The blue is magic. She does lots of magic damage, so let's just amplify that. That makes it super big. We'll take this, we'll do that, because she's in for Scalesworn, and there's only, like, there has to be all 4 of those, so we're going to keep her 2. I could give somebody a Bloodthirster. That sounds like a good idea to give to this Olaf. Bloodthirster. And this makes a Zephyr. I really hate Zephyrs. And I think we have another option for draft, and then we get another...
Is it because they use wind?
What?
A Zephyr?
Yeah, it's a Zephyr. At combat, it summons a whirlwind on the opposite side of the arena that removes the closest enemy from combat for 5 seconds. It also gives you 150 health and 20 magic resist, but I just don't think it's that great of an item in and of itself. Aw, damn. The Mana Reaver just fucked up Diana real bad right there. See what I said earlier, Astral? That guy's playing Astral. That's going to be hard to beat. But if I get a 3-tier Olaf and a 3-tier Diana, I'll be impressed. There's no Diana.
Impressive.
There's my Guardian. No, wait. Is that the only one? Ugh. So I'm gonna have to put in... Because she only does one. Like, that's gonna give me Shimmer Scale and Guardian, but I need another one to make 4 Guardians. I mean, like, your Discord is blowing up.
I have a lot of shit on my Discord.
It's been driving me crazy.
Well, why don't
You need
you
to
just
uninstall Discord from that laptop. Well, I guess that wouldn't work out because you're
Oh,
all
then I can't talk to you.
But it should be
I
your...
mean,
That's your Discord blowing up. If you're talking on your Discord, that's your Discord
yeah,
blowing
if
up.
it's not mine then.
I don't know who I'm talking to.
Okay, so the problem here is I'm out of things that I'm collecting. Like, I need to get rid of this Brom then. I guess I need to get rid of cheese.
When going gets tough,
I'll see if I can keep the Broms. But I'm still gonna have to level up one more to get this dragon in. That's only gonna give me one, like the 3 of the Guardian that I really need 4 of. In afterthought, I wish I'd saved it and made that a Guardian emblem, because I might not make it. Like, I have no health left. Like, I'm on 9 hit points. Top guy's on 79. Here I was thinking I'm doing good, but the Jade's good. Jade's real good. Okay. Damn.
I said damn.
I have regrets. I probably should have took this one, but then I was thinking if I'd given that to Diana instead. But nobody else does magic damage, right? Like, I feel like everybody else does. I guess the Braum does a little. But everybody else, like, yeah, nobody else does magic damage. I guess I could make it's a blue buff, right? So I can make the Thresh just hook people over and over again. Also, I need to level all the way up. Because I'm going to lose if I don't do something. So now it gives me Shimmer Scale. Oh, but I lose all the Scaleborn. Oh, I'm dumb. Never mind. I forgot. If you add a dragon in, you lose the Scale Sworn bonus, and that's where all of my damage is coming from right now. And I still have forgotten to move over the damn Olaf, like 3 times I've forgotten. Like, I don't know, like 100 times I've forgotten. I also haven't put in blue buff on anybody, I haven't used this other bit. There's 2 items, and I'm probably going to lose here because I didn't fully commit to doing all my shit. And I think, yeah, I'm dead.
You're dead, Jim.
GG, you guys. Dead. And I finished in... not even the top 4, because you get points if you finish in the top 4. So this is going to cost me rank points because I lost. We have to wait to see. He won with Jade, Dragon, Shapeshifter, and Dragon Mancer. That was the guy that beat me in the very first. Made the switch from Jade to something else because I was like, oh shit, he has a better hand than me. It's like playing poker and you're trying to like save for a card and the other guy's got it. You're like, fuck. That's what happened. He drew the luckier hand that go. So what do you think of TFT, you guys?
Interesting. It kind of makes me think of, like, what the fuck is it called? Give me a second.
Alright, we're gonna take a break.
It's so nice.
Well, I had to roll in a commercial because my pre-rolls had turned back on. Yep, I lost 10 points. Ugh! Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name.
A bad name.
Is it hot in here? Is it just me? Whew. Anyway, talks amongst yourselves. I'm going to take a short intermission. BRB. Keith, you're in charge. Just because
Yay.
I know, right? His microphone's better.
Keith's in charge. Yay. So how's Keith?
Okay.
What have you been doing today?
Nothing.
You off today?
Yeah. I slept most of the day.
Nice. I was off today as well. I was just tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long freaking week. It's just blowing up. What are you following on your Discord?
Nothing.
I'm back.
You gotta be following something.
He's following everything. Or I mean, like it might just be like because you never load into it regularly, so all the messages or something you've done on Discord, like all the notifications from the Final Fantasy Discord are all like wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, it could be Final Fantasy. It could be. I know, like if
shit.
you
Discord will get up on your nerves if you don't check it all the
because
time.
you had to log out of mine and logged into yours.
Speaking of
that took me a couple tries.
I'm gonna put that in the chat so you guys can come join us in my Discord if you want. Feel free. It's
And
available.
I post all the memes on that thing. Like
I know. I gave Brandon a meme channel and he ran with it.
You know what level I am?
87.
No, I'm 14 now.
Damn! I think he's higher level than me.
I post a lot.
Well, we appreciate you and all your laughs that you share with us. Thanks, Brandon.
I try, but I feel like it's lost on deaf ears.
I mean, I look at it. I like it. I laugh. I check it. I don't not comment and like things. I make it known that I do it.
Sometimes.
Would it not be obnoxious if I gave an emote to everyone?
Should. I would enjoy it a lot better.
Okay. Most time I feel like I'm being a creeper when I just give an emote to everyone. Because I could just scroll through and like all of them, just not really pay attention. I could do it. I could do it on channel right now. We could pull it up and look. We can talk about the memes and
There's so many. I don't know if you want to do that.
Let's see what the last time I looked at it was. 8/26. So it's only been like 4 days. Oh, there's a Deep Space Nine one. Elton John bought this pet rabbit a treadmill. It's a little bit funny. It's a little fit bunny. Ha! Oh, that's funny.
There's millions.
It's a little bit funny. I'm just dyslexic. It's hard. It's hard. A lot of these are kind of wordy. What's the deal with the bedroom one? Efficient bedroom closet placement. Right?
That wasn't a meme. It was just something I liked. I was like, oh, this is
who
cool.
in the world builds closets like that?
Like what?
Well, at the first place, where they're back to back. Like, what are you gonna reach them from one closet into the other?
Walk-through closet.
I don't know. Like, are you looking at the picture? The picture
can't see it.
like the originally. I thought it would be in Discord still, but you can't see. It's tiny on the screen. Here, I'll blow it up. Yep. That's as big. As big as I can make it. Look at the middle. Like, who's gonna build it in with two closets just like hanging out in the middle of the room?
What do you mean?
I feel like I've been to a house that was like that more than once.
Oh my god, I would have raised Cain in the first place. Like, don't be ridiculous. That's the best noise cancellation. You're like every house in every room in this house has closets in between it, so you stuff it with clothes and stuff. You really can't hear what's going on in the two rooms. It makes perfect sense for insulation purposes. Like your closet space it divides rooms, so you put one half of the room gets a closet on one side, and the other half of the room gets a closet on the other side.
Our apartments at South Plantation had a spot like that, kind of with the closets.
Yeah, they did.
I put my dresser in that corner.
I did too.
Houses are weird.
That's funny. When I was living with...
You can't be a dark, dead, colorful, and lively at the same time. Me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe I can make this bigger. That doesn't really... That still doesn't make the picture bigger. Discord's dumb. Straight friend.
You're dumb.
You gay guys are all so attractive. Why can't you find a man, me, hookup culture, unrealistic expectations, intimacy issues, open relationships, grinder? Oh, wow, that's 100% accurate and awful. Poor SpongeBob. He'll never find a man that way. Bro, I'm telling you, my bowl might look like it has some food left, but there's basically nothing in it. That must be a cat person joke. I don't really get cat jokes.
Because the cats are always up in your face early in the morning. They're like, hey, my bowl is almost empty.
Sounds like a reason, a great reason I don't have a cat. Good usage of the emojis too. Welcome in. Thanks, friend.
Keith had, what was the cat's name again? Flash or something?
Are you talking about Rachel's cat?
Yeah, Rachel's cat. That giant cat. Huge.
What's that food?
This picture here. This picture explains why I don't hear my alarm clock in the morning. It makes me sad. Like, this person's parents should have put their kid to bed, not be partying. That makes me sad. So sad. This is funny. The beat your meat one. That's funny.
Somebody like, I don't get it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I usually scroll past the ones that are wordy or weird. It's fair.
Nice.
I mean,
a lot of
they might
I try to, for some odd reason, I keep finding ones that are like themed. I feel like I haven't posted the same one yet.
Like, I mean, twice. It would be hard to tell. Like the one here. Absolutely furious that people are currently able to buy The Sims for $19.99 when I myself paid it for $59.99 several years ago. A real slap in the face for those who worked hard to pay and paid full price. Like, no, because you paid for it the second it came out. I want it now. Everything goes on sale.
I feel that way though.
Everything goes on sale if you wait.
I think they're poking fun at the
capitalism.
At the hey, I went to college and I paid for it. I'm not getting anything back for it. I think that's what they're doing. They're poking fun at the college. Them getting the
Oh, you're like it's like a double entendre, like it's
it's
an allegory for the student debt relief. Like, how dare it go on sale now? I mean,
how dare it?
The whole student loan situation thing, I think is a step in the right direction. Like, sure, it's unfair to some people, but don't cut this down because it's unfair to others. Why not lift those unfair up? Like, I didn't go to college because it was too expensive. Maybe if that was available to me, that this was going to be cheaper. Okay, sure, I'll go to college. I would love to learn to do electronics manufacturing, and I'm sure they're going to have a demand for that in this world. But I think that'd be fun to watch, like see them putting together superconductors and shit. I bet that's awesome. But I don't want to go to college for that. And think about how long that'd probably take me years through this current college situation. And I'm like, all I want to do is work in a factory, bro. Like, what? Do I need to know complex math to work in a factory?
Probably.
I don't own a farm, but I paid to bail them out. I never used AIG, Citigroup, or Bear Stearns, but I paid to bail them out. I didn't own a house in 2008, but I paid to bail out Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. What does that mean supposed to be saying, Brandon?
It's still making fun of like the bailout. I found a couple of them and I was like, oh, I like that. I like that too.
But did you get bailed out? Did you have student loans that I wasn't aware of?
I had to bail myself out.
I mean, right? I'm not like this doesn't really affect anybody I know. But I feel like everybody I knew in my life that has been bitching about their student loans also partied through their school. Like, they went to some crazy school, pay a lot of money for it, got a shit degree, and then now they work for a restaurant. So it's like, oh, that's why you're bitching about your student loans. You made bad choices. I mean, I feel like people should just be able to file bankruptcy for that kind of shit.
I don't think that one works for bankruptcy.
I feel like that would have been an easier way to fix that solution, personally. I'd have been like, oh, okay, well, you're so poor that you made some bad choices in your life. Everybody gets to file bankruptcy once. Is this the one you want to pick? I'd be like, hell yeah, wipe out my $200,000 in student loans. Boop, bye. Like,
that's true.
That's probably how I would have done it. Instead of just giving people $10,000, I'd have been like, oh, if you file bankruptcy, which ruins your credit, has some ramifications, is pretty awful, you get to release this student debt, but you get a fresh start.
Fresh start.
You know, because that once you file bankruptcy, your credit score gets set back to 0, and you can go up from there.
I mean, like, well, didn't Trump like do that like 7 times?
Negatively.
Kind of, sort of, but like the second you file bankruptcy, you're gonna get so many credit card offers and shit. If you're financially solvent and stay that way, it's fine. But it's a system that's definitely designed to pull you back into debt, and then you will not be able to file bankruptcy the second time. So you can make your own choices once you file bankruptcy, but it's like it looks bad on your credit, like, oh, you had a bankruptcy, but they know you can't do it again for another 7 years. And then the second time you do it, it's so much more paperwork, like you have to go through Donald Trump level of lawyers to get to a second bankruptcy.
A lot of lawyers.
I mean, right? Like, you gotta have, like, Giuliani's got to come out of Rikers Island for you on that one. It's the only way you're getting out of the second bankruptcy is if you get Giuliani to be your lawyer. Or maybe Cochran. Maybe Johnny Cochran. Yeah, that's that. How do we go from memes to that? Good times. Good times. Do you want to see League of Legends? Like, how League of Legends works?
How to cry?
Well, I mean, you don't actually have to play with anyone in League of Legends. You can. We'll do a game with just NPCs. We'll do.
It was a joke.
I'll do a training.
I was joking.
Practice your favorite champion in the Solar Summoner's Rift training gym. Okay. I've never used this. Let's see what it does. So there's one person on the team. I can add a bot.
I am a bot.
Okay. So that's what we'll do. So I can pick any champion I want to pick from this list. These are all the champions. Each champion has abilities that are special and unique to itself. There is a new one out that I have not played yet. This one. So we'll lock her in and we'll see what her abilities are, because I don't know the answer. She's new.
New phone, who dis?
Nala. Nala? Nala. Is it, I wonder if it's like the Lion King, like Nala. Also, League of Legends free to play, just for the rest of you guys who are out there. It is competitive. You can watch people play it in like real life. So this is the map. Like, can you see the map on this side here?
See the map.
There's this thing that is
unbound from the world.
Right here is called the Nexus. It's where all the minions spawn, and they run towards the other person's Nexus, and these towers shoot them.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Just like Smite.
You get gold. I mean, it's the same principle, yeah. You get gold. Each champion has abilities. You have teams of 5 that run together. So this person's abilities are her passive, which let's start with that. Her actual passive is when Nala kills a minion, she and her nearest ally gain 50% of the experience they would have normally lost from sharing the kill. Nala gains 7.5% increased effectiveness from healing and 15% from shielding, giving her by allied champions abilities. If an ally heals or shields her,
minions have spawned.
They will also gain the increased amount of the shield or heal themselves. If an ally shields or heals themselves, Nala will also gain the additional effect. Okay. So the Q is passive. Nala gains armor penetration, and her attacks against champions restore damage dealt as health. Overhealing from this is converted into a shield. for 4 seconds. The active is she cracks her whip blade, dealing 62 physical damage, increased by her critical strike chance. If an enemy unit or structure is hit, Nala gains 125 attack range and 10% attack speed, and her attacks hit in a cone as 63 physical damage for 4 seconds. So W is a Jubilant Veil. Nala envelops herself in mist for 2.5 seconds, becoming ghosted, gaining movement speed, dodging attacks, and reducing magic damage taken by 40 cents. While active, touching allied champions envelops them in mist, granting them same benefits for 1.5 seconds. The E is Nala dashes through a unit, dealing 66 physical damage to an enemy she passes through. And then she has the ultimate, which we don't get until level 6. She whirls her whip blade, dealing 68 physical damage over 1 second, then finishes with a burst of 1.31 physical damage that also pulls nearby enemies towards her. Nala heals herself and nearby allies for 30% of her damage dealt to enemy champions, converting overhealing into a shield. Indeed. So, I'm gonna buy... It says crit... The recommended situation is this. That's what they recommend. And then we're gonna walk ourselves down to this. I probably should have bought boots. I think I can teleport myself in this mode, can't I?
You look like you're running really slow.
It's pretty slow at first. You're not supposed to, like, it's a long walk, so like you don't want to go back to base a lot, like, because you have to. It's strategic about when you go back, because you have plates that give your enemy champions
All I feel is
gold
joy.
that she's already gotten too.
It
I've
is
been, like,
difficult.
Schmussing around.
Mushing around.
Prepare yourself.
So
Joy
this
will
thing
not
is in a
falter.
Apparently she's just gonna let me get me. I just exhausted her so I can get the kill. There we go.
Aced.
I guess we'll just... I'm gonna
That
take
was fast.
this one.
Should I have held that?
So now it dashes. And each one of those, you hit the... Now I've got level 3 levels off that already. So normally there's a whole bunch of shit going on. Like there's usually people up here, there's usually people here. There's usually a dude trying to come through the middle and get
The river swells.
dragon games. But I hardly ever play Summoner's Rift. This is what we're on, it's called Summoner's Rift.
Water, rise.
This bitch is trying to be cheeky, but she's
Water
really trying to
binds
get me,
us
and she might.
as it binds the demon.
She might get me.
Question is, who really gets shot?
Ashna stern to
Well,
gaze upon the
she's
stars.
gonna get murdered by
And
the
his
tower
embers
if she
in
comes
the
any
gloom.
closer. The AIs know specifically how close they can get. So now that we're back at the tower, at the fountain they call it, you start earning health and mana back. I'm gonna go for the mana reeve option.
I need only
and actually,
three
I can totally
weapons.
just fast
Water,
forward.
muscle,
Like, I can
mind.
give myself a bunch of gold. So now I can buy all kinds of shit, and you can see what, like, how powerful she'll become once she has all the items. Boots, Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster, Infinity Edge. Sell this guy. We'll buy this one, and I still have like shit tons of gold because I'm in the training mode.
Triumph and
And
exaltation.
there's definitely a teleport to cursor. It's Shift S. So I can just bloop. Now we're back from outer space.
An enemy of skill and worth.
This is what it
I
looks like
thank
in game.
you.
Now if I fast forward the game 10 minutes, we're gonna give Annie some time to catch up from that. Give herself some gold, maybe. I'm not sure what she hasn't even noticed that I'm here.
Cast away fear and spit in the eye of evil.
This bitch is like a weed whacker. What is even going on?
Why do you have so many little people behind you?
Those are minions.
Another chapter in the epic
And they accrue over time.
I was gonna say, tell me about the minions that are following you.
The minions, they spawn. Like, normally there's champions who mess with this
Your
shit.
team has destroyed a turret. Your
Shit.
turret has been destroyed.
See, the minions got the turret that I
We
wasn't
will
defending.
write songs
so-
about this.
How dare you not defend the turret?
Well, I mean, I have to be everywhere. Shit, yeah. They were about to beat this one because I let it go for so long. This is quite satisfying.
For this
It wouldn't be this
I
satisfying
give
if I was
everything.
playing with other people.
Oh, yeah.
Your team has destroyed a
Well,
turret.
because, you know, they tend to fight back.
I would say they do.
They also have it proportionate, like they would be, like I'm super overpowered compared to my
May
enemies right
these
now.
battles ink the
Just to be
pages of
funny.
history.
Because why play at half power? That just seems... Because her tower, like, most time abilities don't affect the tower, hers does. It's pretty nice.
Turn darkness
Your
against
team has
itself.
destroyed a turret.
Delightful.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Wrecked.
Ace.
The river
See, that's
of
fun.
fate drowns the
Your
unborn.
team has destroyed an inhibitor. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
I'll just finish this quickly and then go play what I normally play, which is called ARAM. Which is all middle, all random.
All middle, all random.
Has destroyed
Pretty
a
random.
turret.
I like random stuff, right? Because it gives the replayability. But I mean, like, if I had a team and some people that wanted to play this with me, you could definitely get together a team of people and be really good at this. Like, it would not be that bad. I think the communication and teamwork is probably more important than rapid fire button pressing. Or nah, because we're in stream and there is 5 people watching the stream. So if somebody wants to have me play something else, I can. I got I got Furthest Frontier, I've got Against the Storm, we've got some Old World, we got Final Fantasy, we got Humankind, Satisfactory.
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah, I'm gonna run pre-rolls. Gonna run the ad for pre-roll's sake. Please bear with me. We'll be right back. I need to turn the air conditioner down. It's getting hot in here. Is it just me? It's getting hot. Whew.
Oh no. How hot is it?
Now we're back to Squeaky Fan. Can you guys hear Squeaky Fan? So, what do we want to see, you guys? What do you want to do? You want to talk about some more news? You want to tell me what's going on in your life? You want to tell me what you're playing? Tell me what's going on? Talk to me.
I'm playing my Huge. Playing video. There's a guy that wants me to start playing this game called Aben.
There's this guy, is there?
Yeah, it's like one of my friends on here who plays video with me. He's just like, yeah, I've been playing this. It's like ALB game.
Albion Online?
Yeah, he's like, it's fun. And
I've
I was
played
like,
it. Meh.
I don't know.
It's similar. It's like a Skyrim Online kind of join. Actually, it might be more like Fable.
Fable.
More like Fable Online.
Like Fable. Good old Fable.
I can't get into video. It's just another MMO that I don't want to restart. And I'm already at a point where I don't want to restart with Final Fantasy. Like, every time I go into Final Fantasy, I'm just like, it's just pressing buttons in a rotation. Over and over and over again. Even with the new... Say what?
Isn't that every video game?
I mean, I play a lot of strategy games and a lot of games.
Just pushing buttons over and over again.
Yeah, but you're pushing the same buttons in a rotation over and over again. It requires no real thought. You're kind of just going in and practicing this rotation that you have memorized because you've done it so many times before. It doesn't give me any intellectual stimulation anymore.
Like you need jobs.
What?
It's your job class. All of them.
I mean, I haven't played them all, but like I tried to go in and play Monk the other day, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is the AOE rotation, this is all the jobs are pretty much the same. Like once you get your hotkeys in the right spots, it's all like you're pressing the same buttons, just for a different job. It does different actions, but you're doing it like, you know what I'm saying? Like DPSs are all the same, tanks are all the same, healers are all the same. In basic effects. Am I wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong.
And there's nothing really wrong with that. Like, I like that people have the options for different styles and such. But like, I'm such a regen healer. I only played Scholar and White Mage. Not Scholar, Astrologian and White Mage. Now that they've fixed the 2 healers classes, I'm like, yeah, the other 2 have no appeal to me. Other than I want to be able to cast Summoner, and I feel like it'd be easier to level Scholar than Summoner.
It would be. Like, there's no joke.
But then you get to the whole point where you're like, damn, I'd be forcing myself to level a job that I hate just because it's easier than leveling the job that I wanted to play. And then you realize you didn't really want to play that job. You just wanted to say that you had done it to 80 and had the pretty summons. And is that worth hours of brain-numbing unhappiness?
Fixed it so it was a little faster.
Yeah? No. What do we think, chat? Universe? Ollie Oxenfree? How about some random chicken dance? There you go. Random chicken dance. I always forget how long it is. And you're like, no, it just keeps going. It just keeps going.
You hear it, Brandon?
It has to be putting out on the stream. I see it redlining my stream. Actually, it's super loud.
But we're listening on the Discord.
Yeah, I don't think it shows up. Oh my god. I really thought... I think they've elongated this since the last time I used it, to be fair. Okay. Wow, that was exciting. Did we all survive? Is everyone okay? Do you need to see a counselor now? Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. Indeed. Alright, well, I guess that means that we are out of things to talk about, and that's been 2 hours. So it's probably time to call it a day. And let's speak now or forever hold your peace. If you really want to see the entertainment continue, you should tell me what you would like to see. Thank you for being here. Follow, subscribe, and like if you haven't already. Appreciate you putting up with me. You guys have anything you want to say before we let them go?
No, not really.
I'm good.
Wow. Feel the love, you guys. Feel the love, you guys. All right, bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Hey.